Hey guys, Derek here. Welcome back to the channel. We are back to watch another episode of The Last of Us. This one's dropping early because the Super Bowl is on Sunday, obviously. And I believe this episode is called Endure and Survive. Last episode was really good. It was really nice to see Ellie and Joel bond a bit on their journey together. I really enjoyed that. But then at the end of the episode, they had guns drawn on them by two unknown individuals. We know them as Henry and Sam, and I'm very excited about what's excited is a word. I am. This episode is probably gonna hurt. Depending on how far they take the storyline in this episode, feelings might be felt at a certain point. I don't know how far this episode is going to take us, but I'm excited to find out because this show is so good. Like I love this show so much. I love the game so much. It's a beautiful, beautiful story, and it shatters your heart every step of the way. But we love it for that very reason. Before we jump into this episode, if you end up enjoying my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me. If you're new here, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, or you just want to support me in general, consider checking out my Patreon. That is linked in the description below. Sometimes I post these reactions early on Patreon, so if you're interested in that, consider checking it out. But otherwise, let's jump into episode 5, right? Episode 5 of 9 of The Last of Us. This episode is gonna hit like a truck. It's gonna be, it's just absolute sad factory for sure. Ooh. Okay, just get absolutely brained. Jesus, this episode is dark. Two more blocks. Interesting twist that they made Sam deaf.
No one here has to die. Yeah, we could put you on trial. You're all guilty, so that's how that'll go.
You're all guilty, so that's how that'll go.
Where is Henry?
Why do we hate Henry so much? Ugh.
Kill them.
He's with Edelstein.
Who's Edelstein?
I swear, I've told you everything I know.
Of course you have. You're a rat.
Oh, so mean.
We are not really putting them on trial. When you're done, burn the bodies. It's faster.
Jeez. She is, real dark.
Sure
This is the spot where they found the drawings.
He's scared because you're scared.
Well, there's things to be scared of. Super Sam. Like Super Sam manga. No. He is brave. Why did they have to make this kid so stinking cute? Upsets me. Oh. Oh, that guy's not coming back. They are so cute. This is gonna absolutely ruin me. Oh, the paint. This is where he gets the eye paint from. Oh, I'm not gonna be okay. Joel and Ellie. Joel is good. Ooh. Did Joel see him? Yes, noisy, Sam. Very noisy.
Joel!
Eyes on me. Eyes on me. We don't want to hurt you. We want to help you.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a weird fucking tone, man.
That's just the way he sounds. He has an asshole voice. Joel, tell him he's okay.
He has an asshole
Everything's
voice.
great.
Dude.
Everything is great.
Can I sit up?
Slow. My name's Henry. It's my brother Sam. I'm the most wanted man in Kansas City. Although right now, I guess you're running a close second.
Yeah, probably.
I'm Ellie.
Oh, she knows sign language? Or did she just point to herself?
I'm Joel. Look, you ate. We didn't kill each other. Let's call this a win-win and move on.
Y'all came up here to get a view of the city and plan a way out. And when the sun's up, I'll show you one.
Sounds like a fair trade. Kill a city, boy.
Casey Federalist.
Monsters, savages. Yeah, you heard right. Raped and tortured and murdered people for 20 years.
Damn. They get angry.
I don't work with rats.
Yeah, you fucking do. Today you do. Because I live here, and you don't.
You seem capable enough. You're armed.
You're wrong. You're wrong. Never killed anyone. And pointing an unloaded gun at you is the closest I've ever come to being violent. So that's the deal. I show the way.
Unloaded. That's a bold move to make.
Haven't heard that in a long time.
Oh. Okay. We're gonna hold it together, and we're gonna be okay.
So how do we get across?
In a plane. A helicopter. Tunnels.
So we enter the tunnels here, travel underground,
Ooh,
and pop up here.
was the
West
last
side north,
episode the
residential.
tunnel collapse maybe?
No infected?
Oh, there's infected.
They're all
Just
down
not on the
below.
surface. Fedra drove them underground 15 years ago and never let them come back up. You see, what I know is, it's empty.
You've been down there.
No. Okay, maybe there's one or two, but you handle it.
What if there's more?
Or one of those blind ones that sees like a bat?
Wait, You ran into a clicker,
2 of them.
and you're still alive.
Yeah. Facts. They're good.
If it gets bad down there, we turn around and run right back out the same way we came.
Oh, that's your great plan?
No, that's my dicey as fuck plan. But as far as I could tell,
It's the only one you got.
it's the only shot.
You gotta send it, Joel. Full send.
We're saying they're going to help us escape.
Yeah. He's like rad.
You ready?
Get your gun out.
He told you to put that in your backpack. Look at that little head shake. He's like, are you kidding me?
See? It's empty. The plan is good.
We've been down here 2 seconds. Don't know anything.
Dad's kind of a pessimist.
I'm not
my
her dad.
I mean, not technically. Oh my gosh. The vibes. The vibes of down here are bringing back, oh, and these,
Whoa.
oh, they recreated it so well. Damn. Yeah, they got their whole setup. Oh, Ish, our protector.
No way. I love these. To the edge of the universe and back. Endure and survive. Endure. Survive. Fuck yeah, man.
Oh.
Get down, we're not out yet.
Oh, come on. Can we just rest here for a while?
Oh, are they gonna actually play soccer? Yes. Oh, get nutmegged, Sam. I will never emotionally recover from this episode.
To send a whole army after you for that.
I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say.
He was a man. A great man. Never afraid. Never selfish. And he's always forgiving.
Jesus. His name is Jesus Cristo.
He got sick. Leukemia. Anyway, there was one drug that worked. And, whoa, big shock. There wasn't much left of it. And it belonged to Federal. So I gave them something big. That one great man.
Oh.
The captain's brother. Yeah,
That's why she wants him.
I am the bad guy because I did a bad guy thing.
This,
But you get it though.
I want to
Not
say
her father.
so many things
She was someone's.
about how this applies to certain characters' futures. But I don't want to say
You waited long
something that's going to give something away. Ugh. Everyone Joel talks to informs his actions in the future.
He would be horrified by the things I've done. And if you've come to tell me that Michael wouldn't want me to hurt Henry, that he would want me to forgive,
I think that's the facts. She just doesn't care.
where is the justice in that? What is the point of that?
Well, we're going to Wyoming. What? It's a huge state. It can fit 2 more people.
Barely.
Maybe we just call this one a success and say our farewells.
No, he'll change his mind. Trust me. This is how it goes. He's like, no, Ellie, never, ever, ever happening. I'm gonna ask you a million more times, and he's like, whoa!
Move! Move! Go!
Oh my god, it's like the exact same.
Go around, try to get in the house through the back, and then I'll take him out.
But if you go out there, he's gonna kill you.
It's dark and he has shit aim. Nobody's gonna kill
Then
me.
he's gonna kill us.
Not if you don't move.
You trust me?
Then let the man do his job. He does have pretty bad aim. Guy kind of sucks.
Put the gun down. And stay up here for another hour. That's all you have to do. Please don't do it. Please.
He doesn't want to have to kill you, man. New gun for Joel, though. Anthony was talking shiz on the radio, bruh.
Run!
There's cars everywhere.
Why do you think you're in front? Clear them.
She's so sassy. Joel, you don't have any better aim than Anthony. Good shot, brother. Oof. Ellie, get up. Eleanor! That's a biggin. Eleanor, keep running.
I know why you did what you did. But did you ever stop to think that maybe he was supposed to die?
He's just a fucking kid.
I don't like her.
You think the whole world revolves around him? That he's worth everything?
He's his world. Joel, smoke this chick in the side
the way
of
it
her
ends.
skull. J-Bones. Oh, oh, the trailer. From the trailer, I know what's going to happen. Oh, my dear Lord. This... Oh! This was under that house? It was a sinkhole, probably. All the tunnels and all that dumb crap. Oh my God, there's 1,000 of them. Holy cannoli. Ellie. Go, girl. Joel's a straight G, honestly. Run. Run. That is the only answer. Oh, you can't kill it. Oh my god, that thing gonna kill Tommy. That thing gonna rip Tommy in half. Oh. Oh my god. That was just like the way it kills you in the game. But they killed Tommy. Oh, that's a clicker little girl. And she's a goddamn acrobat as well. She's a gymnast. Yes, Ellie. With the knife. Excellent work. Time to leave.
Stop!
Okay. Freaking A. Leave us alone. Oh, the gymnast! Ugh. And now they advance on the city. Oh my god.
What's that comic book say?
I am not gonna be okay.
Endure and survive.
Endure and survive. That shit's redundant.
Yeah, it's not great. Look, I don't know exactly how I'm getting to Wyoming. I'm probably walking. But,
You're welcome along.
you know, if you want to,
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'd be nice for Sam to have a friend.
God dang it.
Do I not look scared?
I'm not gonna be okay. Don't. If that kid cries. Oh. Oh.
This is medicine.
What are you gonna bleed on him real quick? That's how AIDS happens. This is an interesting twist that she knows.
Promise.
God, this is the cutest kid ever. God damn it.
You okay? Easy, easy, easy. Henry, what's up? Henry,
Every time.
Henry, look up.
God damn. Oh, that hits so hard every time. I'm sorry.
Let's go.
She's the one closing up. Oh, Jesus. That was probably the hardest I've cried for anything on this channel. Other than weirdly Daniel Espinosa from Lucifer. that and this. I don't think anything's gotten me to the point where I like legitimately shed tears and can barely see. But man. Like a truck. Hits like a goddamn truck. God, I'm just watching the behind the scenes of the episode and it's making me cry. Okay. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to emotionally recover from that. That was the easily the hardest I think I've ever cried on this channel. Maybe watching Everything Everywhere All at Once, and then the most odd is I actually I bawled like a baby watching the final season of Lucifer for friggin' Daniel Espinosa. If you've seen Lucifer, you know what I'm talking about. What was it, like episode 3 or something of the final season of that show? Weirdly very much vehemently did not enjoy the final season of that show, but that part made me cry quite a bit. I think I've cried a lot on this channel, and I've welled up quite a bit. Like my eyes have gotten real teary-eyed, but I think that Everything Everywhere All at Once and then now this episode are the only things that have like physically made me like shed tears, like to the point where it's tough to even see what's on screen because I'm just like crying so hard, and like sniffling and like I don't even I sometimes when I start to cry I like try and stop myself because I think I look dumb, when I cry, and I think I'm kind of an ugly crier. And I don't want to look so stupid on the camera, but I this time I was just like, you know what? This sucks. I'm gonna cry. Like it's gonna be hard. And you just kind of had to be okay with it, that it was gonna be really sad. Yeah, I don't know. Going into this episode, I wasn't sure how far they were gonna take it. Like I didn't know if they were gonna conclude this episode with Henry and Sam dying, or maybe they were gonna take that into the next episode, right? Like if they were gonna spend extended time with Sam and Henry, because in the game you do spend some extended time with them down in those tunnels, and then there's a whole bridge sequence, and they showed the bridge, and I was like, ooh, are we gonna maybe end with the bridge sequence? But then we didn't even have the bridge sequence, so it was very interesting. But even though we didn't spend a ton of time with these two characters in this episode, they did such a good job of endearing you to these two characters, right? Like just like they do in the game. Like it's amazing how quickly like these two characters become your favorite characters in the game, other than Joel and Ellie, right? Like people like Tess. people are like fans of Tess. She's great, and it sucks when she dies, but Tess cannot hold a candle to Sam and Henry in just how much it ruins people when they see them die. Like Anna Torv, bless her, love her to death. I'm a fan of Tess, and it sucks when she dies, but every single time, whether I'm playing the game, watching someone play the game, or now when I watched this, and every time I watch someone react to this, it is gonna hit so unbelievably hard. Like every single episode of this show is heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak. They just take your heart and rip it out of your chest, and then they stomp on it. You know, and it's just like, oh man, they did such a good job. Like the characters themselves are already endearing, but then you take the cutest effing kid I've ever seen in my life. Like if you like this kid, if there was a competition for like cutest kids that I've seen in media recently, like not that way, shut up, but like the kids where you're just immediately like, that kid's a gem. It would be this guy, Kevon Woodward, and the kid who played Toussaint, aka young T'Challa, in the end credit scene of Black Panther. Like he was immediately just like the most endearing, sweetest kid I've ever seen in my life. And then like they show, like, I don't know why, but him being deaf and having to use sign language and ASL just made him even more like precious. Like you want to protect him. And I loved the part in the post credit, or not post credit scene, but in the after the episode, like inside the episode type thing. I was crying watching that because this little kid is like signing about like how much he enjoyed being on the show, because he can show that like deaf people can still live life and do things. And he's able to show that even more when he shows a deaf person surviving like in the apocalypse. That was beautiful. And they got like the whole crew was signing and stuff, and it's just like, oh, it's beautiful. This kid's wonderful. And I loved that they talked about the dynamic of like he has to rely on Henry so much because of his deafness. Like they are glued, they are bonded, even more so than like a regular older brother and younger brother, right? Like that is a substantial bond, but like these two have so much stronger of a bond because without Henry, Sam might not make it at all, right? Like, so they're glued to each other at the hip, and because of that, it makes sense of like how much this would ruin Henry if he lost Sam, and that's what happens in the show. We also found out why he is the most hated man in Kansas City, and it's because it makes sense. It makes sense not only that Kathleen wants him dead due to the fact that the guy he gave up was her brother, but that everybody else would go along with it because her brother was essentially like the savior of this city, right? Because Fedra, they talked about how Fedra was brutal. They were animals. They would rape and murder for 20 years. And then this man essentially leads an uprising, takes down Fedra, and then Henry gives him up to Fedra to get leukemia drugs for his brother. So it makes sense that Kathleen wants him dead because he's responsible for her brother's death. And it makes sense that the rest of the city would want him dead because, like, yo, you killed our king, our ruler, like, you killed our hero. And they talked about in the post episode, like, this is an issue born of love. The whole story, all these things happen because of love. Good things can happen and bad things can happen. It was an issue of, my brother's more important than your brother. And so it makes sense that they want him dead. And his talk with Joel in the tunnel was very interesting because he's like, you know what? I am the bad guy because I did a bad thing. And I don't want to. Okay, this next part that I'm gonna say right now is spoilers for the game. So if you haven't played the game, you're gonna want to check the timestamp down below and just skip ahead to when I'm done talking about this, because it's so important. Like this episode, every episode is driving Joel and informing his actions later, but this episode so much. So spoilers from this point until I say not spoilers. But that talk where he's like, I'm the bad guy because I did a bad thing. Like, I did bad guy things. Don't I deserve to have the entire city after me, like an army after me? Is so much foreshadowing to Joel's situation at the end of the game. Like, specifically after all the things, after the hospital, after he saves Ellie, kills Marlene, kills all the people in the hospital, after all of that, when people talk about Joel, like, did he do the right thing? Did he do the right thing? Like, is Joel the good guy? And what most people have come to, like, the conclusion that I think the vast majority of fans of The Last of Us have come to is, while Joel is the protagonist, he is not the good guy. The things he did objectively were awful things. And his reasons for doing it, like, we get his reasons for doing it, right? Kathleen, she asks Henry, what he, like, is he the most important thing in the world, or he's more important than everyone else in the world? And it's like, that applies to Joel. It's like, Joel might have been dooming the world when he saved Ellie at the end of the game, but he was saving his world, right? And he did a horrific thing. Like, he's a mass murderer. Like, he mass murdered this entire hospital, potentially ruined the chance to save humanity because he couldn't let go of this one girl. So like it begs the question: is Joel a bad guy? Like, is he the bad guy? I've seen some people take it further and be like, Joel is the villain of The Last of Us, and I wouldn't say that. Joel is the protagonist of The Last of Us as much as Ellie is, but he's not a good guy because he does bad things. And then it foreshadows even further when Sam's like, don't I deserve to have this army coming after me? And it heavily foreshadows The Last of Us 2 with, Abby and her crew hunting Joel down across the country to exact revenge for what he did. Right? They have an army come after him to get back at him for the actions that he committed, and then they kill him, and then it turns right back around, and Ellie and Tommy and Dina and Jesse, they then go to hunt down Abby and all her friends because of the things that they did. And it's just this cycle that keeps going and keeps going and keeps going until Ellie has to make the choice at the end of the game that she's not going to do that anymore, and she's not going to be that person, and she through this cycle of revenge and violence, born from her love of Joel, she has in turn lost everything that she had of Joel, and it's just like this. Every episode has had moments that heavily foreshadow the actions that are gonna happen. But this episode so much so foreshadows Joel's decision at the end of the first game, where he's talking to him, and he's listening to him talk and being like, I'm starting to feel that type of bond towards Ellie, right? And he is every step of the way, he is getting increasingly exasperated when he has to protect her, not out of like frustration for the choice that he has to protect her, but like because he's so concerned that she might die or might get hurt. And he is, they talked about how Sam and Henry are a mirror image of Joel and Ellie in the story, and he sees them bond so tightly, and then when Sam turns and Henry kills him, and it is so distraught, like he's so distraught, so devastated at losing his brother that life is not worth living anymore, and he kills himself. And they're at the grave. They talked about how Joel in that moment is realizing, oh shit, this is us. This is what is going to happen to us. If she gets hurt, if she dies, I am, like, he's done. Like, Joel will probably kill himself if Ellie dies. And it's just, like, he sees what it's becoming. And just, like, it's, so much solidifies, like, he, at the end of the first game, he cannot. It's not even an issue at that point of like him thinking like, I'm trading her life for the world. He doesn't care about the rest of the world. He just cares about her. And it's, oh my God, it's so, this episode foreshadowed so much. Ugh, so good. I think that's where I'm gonna end the spoiler section though. But no, it was really cool to see, the lead up to Sam and Henry getting together with Joel and Ellie, and it was really cute to just watch the two of those kids engage the whole episode, talking about comic books and looking and reading in the pun book, and just bonding and growing together, and there's these moments of innocence where they're playing soccer, and it's beautiful and it's endearing, and even Henry has got an endearing personality where he's not a violent guy. He's never hurt anyone on purpose, right? Like, at least physically. And he wants to stick with Joel and Ellie going forward, and they want to be like this group. He wants to go to Wyoming so that Sam can have a friend, and it's like, bro, like, this is, you know how they do like what if stories in Marvel, right? The animated show What If, where they bring forth the possible scenarios of like what would happen if this happened. I so desperately want to see like just a live action, not, I don't know if I would want an animated version, probably live action of theoretically what would it have looked like if Sam never got bit, if him and Henry traveled with Ellie and Joel and they just made their way, and maybe when they get to Jackson, Sam just gets to live in that town and he gets to grow old, hopefully, or grow up at least, and make friends and have a life and bond with his brother. I want to see that kid grow up, and it sucks because he's like, Henry and Sam are just beautiful souls, and you want so desperately to have them be all right, and so that's part of why it hurts so bad when you see them die, and it's just hits you like a truck. I loved the nods that they gave to the tunnel population down in the tunnels, where like it's this whole community that lived down there, and I believe that's the community that comes out of the tunnel at the end. But like these people went underground and they lived underground, and they lived a life. They had a community. They had protectors in Ish the protector. That's a thing from the game where you never actually like see Ish. It's just you just pick up notes and read about him and stuff, and you read about this little community and what happened to them, and it's sad, it's tough. But I loved the fact that they included that in the episode. Really enjoyed that. And then they come out to the neighborhood. They come out to the neighborhood at dark with that freaking sniper. I like how they twisted that interaction and kind of removed the bridge scenario. So like in the game, it's just like a group of hunters that are in this town. Like, they don't have any personal connection to Joel or Ellie or Sam or Henry or anything. They're just shooting people that are there. And so I liked the fact that they made the sniper just a solitary dude who's part of Kathleen's group, obviously, but removed the whole gameplay sequence of having to like stealth through and kill all these guys and then kill the sniper, and removes somewhat the ambiguity of when Sam was bitten. I mean, you can tell pretty much in the game, like you can give your best guess as to when it happened, but it's pretty obvious when it happened, and the Joel doesn't want to kill this guy. Like, he's becoming a softer individual, right? Like, he's like, dude, just give me the gun, sit up here for an hour, you don't have to die. And then the dude just, he does it anyway, and it's like, bro, come on. Like, what a dick. And then Kathleen gets there with her whole group, and they crash that truck into the house, and it blows up. And she's talking to Henry, being like, hey, I understand why you did what you did, but you killed my brother. And so you're going to die, and Henry's going to die, and Joel's going to die, and Ellie's going to die because you wronged us. And she has this like absolute moral compass of like, what you did was wrong. You killed a good person. You will die now. And then all flippin' hell breaks loose. Holy cow. So I assume, like last episode, we saw the ground shifting. I believe, that was part of the tunnel system. All that's connected. There's probably cave-ins and sinkholes and all that jazz. That's probably how the community that was down in those tunnels got infected, got killed, and then they were all just down there and trying to make their way out and creating a bloater. So I think all those dead people that came, well, they were not dead, all those infected that came out of the ground there, like a horde of them, very much Days Gone vibes, another PlayStation game where when you encounter a horde and it's just the most horrifying thing you've ever seen, and your heart rate is up to 1,000. Just seeing all of them come out and just like they're trying to kill them all and they can't because there's just so many of them, because it was all the infected that were driven down there in the first place, and then also the members of that community who were infected, and they're all coming up, and they're making a little bit of progress. They're shooting people. Joel's protecting Ellie. Sam and Henry barely holding on. Obviously, don't successfully get out alive. And then the bloater. The bloater is like showcasing this thing's strength was frightening. Like the fact that it's just picking people up, slamming them on the ground, like looks like he's got like it's like he's like the Hulk essentially. And Pierce, Jeffrey Pierce, who plays Tommy in the game, and he plays Perry in this, Perry the Platypus. He's like run, and he's like shoot. He's unloading full mags on this thing. And if you know in the game, bloaters are so difficult to kill. You have to throw like 4 Molotovs at them. You have to unload on them with shotgun blasts, with pipe bombs, with machine guns. Like by the end of a bloater encounter, all of your ammo is gone. Like it's you're effed essentially. And a subtle nod that they threw into the game is when this bloater kills Perry, he grabs him and just rips his head off. That was brutal. Like the fact that they showed that in the episode, oh my god. That was horrific. But it's the exact way that it happens in the game. Like if a bloater catches you, I'm pretty sure like it literally grabs like the 2 sides of Joel's jaw and just rips his head in half.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Shut up, Siri. So the fact that they included that was wild. And then right after that, friggin' Kathleen is like, you're not going anywhere. I'ma shoot you because you killed my brother. Like, you're not getting away. And then this goddamn little gymnast, this gymnast clicker little girl is like, I'ma just jump on you. I wonder if they got the weird little gymnast freak kid from the show Barry. Like season 2 of Barry. That little freaky kid. That's what it reminded me of. This kid's like a little elegant like ballerina. Like almost like her body's made of liquid. I mean, people often say like kids' bones are made of rubber, so she's just kind of like flowing at Ellie through this car, and then she's like dancing, like weirdly acrobatic and like ballerina-esque, and then just this thing just rips Kathleen apart, and it's like, bro, like, oh my god, that was the wildest encounter. And then obviously they then advance on the city. Everyone in Kansas City is gonna die now. I mean, everyone that wasn't here is gonna die. And then we get the motel scene. probably for me, like one of, if not the hardest parts in the game to get through emotionally, because you have in one room Joel and Henry kind of bonding a little bit. They bonded a lot more in the game, but they kind of come to an agreement and an understanding that you're now part of the team. Like, you're not just some random people that we met. Like, you are part of us now, and we're gonna get to Wyoming together. Like, you can come with us. And then in the other room, you have Sam, clearly sad and afraid, and trying to ask Ellie, like, are you ever afraid? Like, do you become a monster? Like, when you get bit, like, are they still in there? And he's clearly, he's talking about himself. Interesting change from the game. In the game, he's just sad or whatever, and Ellie leaves the room, and then she goes to bring him like food the next morning, and that's when he attacks. But a very interesting twist in this, where she tries to heal him with her blood, right? Because she's immune, and she tries to like give him like the tiniest bit of a blood transfusion. I wonder, like, theoretically, if you were to hook the two of them up to like a dialysis machine, like, and you gave him a blood transfusion of her blood, like immune blood, what would happen? Like, would it make him immune? I don't know. Entirely possible. Alternatively, if you gave a uninfected person a blood transfusion with Ellie's blood, would it make them infected? It's very curious, but she is being told that she's this hero that's gonna save humanity, and that this cause and this mission that they're on is so important, and she is so important. She's had multiple people tell her this, and she's had at least one person in Tess literally die for her to complete this mission. And so she's like, I'm gonna try and be this hero that I'm told I am, and give Sam some of my blood. And she thinks it works. She thinks it works when she wakes up in the morning, and then it doesn't, and he attacks her, and she's afraid because other than with the clicker with Tess in the museum and the big fight outside, this is like the closest she's come to actually dying, where this Sam is trying to rip her apart, and Henry has to make the choice to kill his brother, and it's kind of a heat of the moment thing, right, when he does it. But then after that, he's what have I done? Like, and he's talking to himself, and then he just ends his own life, and it's the worst. Like, that's gonna be tough to watch every time. And then the aftermath, where Ellie is the one that's closed up, right? She started to open up to someone else, and now she's closed up because she's just like Joel, right? Like, she found herself caring for someone, and then that someone died, and so she's emotionally closing up right now. And Joel is the kitty. And Joel is the one that's like starting to get emotionally vulnerable at the end, where he's like, frick, like, that's us. That's gonna be us at the end of this. Like, he's realizing that the bond is there, that if Ellie dies, like, he's not gonna be able to handle it. And it's heartbreaking and devastating. And then the episode ends, and it's just like, bruh, like, this episode is just, oh man, emotionally daunting. It's gonna be a real struggle every single time I watch it, and I'm gonna watch other people watch this 1,000 times, and it's gonna be the saddest thing ever, isn't it, kitty? Isn't it? This is my cat. Say hi. But I think that's all I gotta say. I'm emotionally ruined. I'm emotionally ruined, and now I have to edit this episode in a reasonable time frame. So I'm gonna get to doing that. You guys leave a comment down below. What did you think of the episode? If you have played the game, how did it stack up to that experience playing the game? If you have not played the game, were you expecting this? And how did it make you feel? I'm very curious to see the different perspectives. If you enjoyed my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a ton to me. Helps my channel grow a lot. If you're new here or you find yourself coming back often, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, or you just want to support me in general, consider checking out my Patreon. That is linked in the description below. Sometimes I post these reactions early over there as well, so consider checking it out. But otherwise, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.